Let us talk about some of the differences between MapReduce and Spark. So, MapReduce and Spark both are general purpose processing engines for big data Hadoop, mostly used for processing the data and converting the data into structured format or maybe semi-structured format. So, when we have data generated from many locations like Twitter, Facebook, and maybe sensors, web logs, and other type of data that has to be converted into structured format. And for that kind of processing, removing the unwanted values, removing the outliers, removing the errors out of it, we use MapReduce and Spark. So some of the differences between MapReduce and Spark are listed here on the slide. First is MapReduce is slow and Spark is fast. This is the primary reason behind development of Apache Spark. So when we look at the previous processing engine, which was MapReduce, MapReduce is it is slow because it works with disk-based processing. So all the intermediate results that we are going to store in MapReduce are going to be stored on Hadoop distributed file system or on local file system. That makes it very slow. Spark is fast because it works with in-memory processing. So why? Because it is working with in-memory processing, so you need not to store any data on local file system. That makes it faster. MapReduce, it is developed in Java. So the library for MapReduce, it is developed in Java. We have a MapRed library. In that library, we have all the supporting classes to work with MapReduce. So if you want to work with MapReduce, you uh, had to be very good Java programmer. You should have very good understanding of Java concepts. Spark is developed in Scala, but it doesn't mean that you have to work with Scala if you want to work with Spark. We have a choice. This is the third point that we have. So Java is used to work with MapReduce development. If you want to go for Spark, you can develop your application using Java, using Scala, Python, and R. So there are choices. We have choices. So if I am a very good Java developer, I'll choose to go for Java. Otherwise, I can work with Scala, Python, or R. So those who are new to the programming, it is always suggested to go with Python because it's easy to learn. Then why? Because MapReduce is a disk-based processing, so it only support batch. You cannot work with interactive processing or in-memory processing with MapReduce. Whereas with Spark, we can work with batch processing. We can also go for iterative processing or interactive processing. MapReduce is not good for iterative algorithms because after every iteration you have to write your data on disk. That will make your algorithm very slow, make your predictions very slow. So for analytics, it is not used. Whereas Spark is majorly developed for interactive algorithms only, and because it is in-memory processing, so that actually makes sense to process your data in memory. MapReduce, it doesn't have shell to work with, whereas Spark, it provides interactive shell with Scala and Python. So these are some of the primary differences between the two promising processing engines that we have for Hadoop. Thank you.